Alright, I am back with the MGA Miniverse. This is from the Make It Mini Lifestyle set, Series 1. There's quite a variety in this set. We have, on the front here is the bird bath, which I would really like to get because that looks cute with a little pack of birds. But there's also like a little Zen garden set. There's a plant in a pot. There's, looks like a hanging plant. That I think is like a fountain with a little bird in it. There's some orchids. So it's quite a variety. I'm very curious to see what we get in the set. Oh, it was so close to being perfect. Just a little piece more. Yeah, I've seen this on there a couple of times, and I'm not sure why some of them have this tag and some don't. There we go, perfect peel. Okay. Oh, see, now this has that thing in the top that usually means something is hanging. Like it's a hook inside. So maybe we'll have something... Maybe we'll get the bird bath. Oh, no, we have Wing Things Wooden Bird Feeder. When you have the need for seed. That's adorable. Looks like maybe some measurements. There's the bottom. Not quite sure what that says. May have to zoom in on the camera to see that. It's like a assembly overview looking thing. Easy assembly, birds will love it. Pre-cut pieces. And so will you. Bird feeder. That's a cute little bird drawing too. Alright, so we have that. We have our instructions. And different languages things. So we'll set this over here and look at that in a second. There's a surprise. Another surprise. Another one. And one more, which is your little, I'm assuming birds. It says tweet. And my name is Feelin' Peckish. This side up. Peep this. Blue jay and a nest. And then bird carrier. Okay. Let's see. I think I'll leave that on for now. You can set this over here. So this first package says have a sunny day, and it has a couple of flowers on it, and the back is just words. We have, what is this? Oh, peanut spread. So it's like peanut butter. There's what that looks like. And then this one we have the sun wearing a bonnet and gloves. I'm guessing like a gardening sun. That is legs for the display, and a tongs, and oh, and a spatula looking thing, and another leg, and some string. Alright. The string is really cute. It's on like a little cardboard. It says Happy Grow Co. and Let's Hang. So that's really cute. And then for the last one, it says Home Sweet Home. You have a little sun inside of a birdhouse. We have a little mesh bag with, I think those are pine cones? Yeah, pine cones. So that is adorable. With little hooks on them too. Okay. And Nutty Tweets by Wing Things. There's the back of that. And that's all that's in there. So that's really cute. Now let's see. So here's the pieces of our little birdhouse. Okay, looks pretty simple. I notice we don't have any glue to put this together, so I'm hoping that it will like pop together well, not fall apart as soon as it's put together. If not, I may use a bit of this to sort of glue it together. That may work a little better than just popping it together, but we'll see. We'll try it just with popping it together first. So first let's have a look here. These are all the things you can get. So there's some flowers. It says calla lilies, poppies, flamingo lilies, birds of paradise, baby's breath trio, Billy buttons, rose duo, peonies. Okay, and then we have, looks like the other half, well, most of it at least. We have the chickadee bird feeder, a hummingbird feeder. That's really cute. I would love to find that. Blue jay bird feeder. That's what we got today. Cardinal bird house. Warbler bird bath. That's another one I'd like to find. Oriole bird bath. And then we have the orchid and the pink orchid, which I think those might be the rares. No, just more plants. Okay. We have purple pothos, hanging pothos, fiddly fig, monstera. That's one of my favorite plants for real. I have a real one of those that's giant. I love it. It's my favorite. Majesty palm, a fern, a pilea pear, and the Zen garden. I would like to find that just because I'm curious. It's an interesting tiny little garden. Let's see. Yeah, here's ours. Let me just get these out of the way. And the little box. Let's see. Get the tongs out of their packaging. I can never get a grip on it. Alright. So this is that little hook I was talking about. That you can use your string to kind of hang your feeder from. Now let's see. And go in like this, so that we will have a little display there. We don't need this other half. I'm never quite sure what to do with these containers. Most of the time I don't really display them in the container because it takes up so much space. So I've been looking for ways to reuse these. So far I haven't really found much though. So we can get our bird out. This feels like really rough string. If you've ever had like string or rope that's like really cheap acrylic, that kind of rope, it has that kind of feel to it, but it does look really good for a bird nest. It's a good look for that. And here's our little birdie. Little blue jay. This is really cute. Let's see if the camera will pick up. There we go. So he has pretty good blue jay markings. He's got this beautiful tail. So really quite good details considering, because like this is not even the size of my finger. It's like half the size of my finger. Very tiny. So there's our little birdie. Alright. Now let's see what we need to do here. So it looks like... Oh, it looks like we are using... No, they don't have it as glue. They have it gluing in the seeds. Which is good, because at least the seeds won't go everywhere. So step one, we get the base here. And step two, the little round thing goes into the base. So does it matter which way? I think they're both the same. Have I got that right, or does it go with these up here? There we go. Okay, that's why it wouldn't fit in. Alright, and then next we... Wait, where's number 2? Oh, number 2 is putting those together. Okay. And then 3 is putting the string. So... it looks like these pop into there. Okay, and that's fitting really well, so I don't think I'm going to have to glue it. At least not so far. That's pretty well sticking together. Okay, so now we need our string. Which we'll have to cut some of this off so that it doesn't hang down a mile. But I will do that after it's all put together so I can kind of judge like how I want it to hang from there. And I think it'll make it easier to string it if I have more to work with. There we go. Yeah, because right now, like, that's going to hang down really far. So for now, I'm just going to put knot here so that the string doesn't come out. And I may try to move the string, like, up inside of it, too. Like, up in here, if it'll fit. I don't know if it'll fit with the, with this part, you know, up in there. But I may give it a try if there's a space. So we get the string, so next is roof on base, okay. It doesn't look like there is. That's going to pretty well lock it into place. Alright. Which is fine. I don't mind. Like I said, I'll be clipping it anyway. So far so good. That's pretty sturdy, it seems like. So next we take the peanut butter, coat that, and then put the seeds on. Oh, and then we're supposed to also, well, we'll do it in order. We're going to do a lot of coating before we use the UV light on it, which they don't come with, but I tend to do these at night, so I better open that in a minute. I don't like to wait for the sun because I would have to like wait all night And I'm always afraid that if I leave it outside, it'll get like a bug in it or something. So I prefer to use a UV light. Highly recommend if you do a lot of these. Alright, so we're going to get some of this. Alright, looks more like caramel than peanut butter. I don't know if you can see, but it is very thick. It's not flowy like a lot of resin can be, so that'll be good. You know, I think this would be a lot easier if I did this without the lid on. Oh no, I still want that part in. Top part really does not want to come out. Okay, fine. We'll just have to keep the seeds out of the middle. So just carefully putting a thin layer of resin in here. I'm glad they gave us a spatula for this. Oops. Well, I'm not going to dry it till I put it in there, so I'm not too worried about getting it on the pegs and stuff, but I mostly just don't want to get any of the peanuts on there. So I'll have to make sure to remove those. Otherwise it won't pop together. Alright. I think that's a pretty good coating there. That should do it. So now we need to spread these on here. And of course it goes right there. Where else would it go? I am debating if it would be better to just pour these on there and then drop them off maybe in the lid, or use the tongs, but I think the tongs would take forever, so I think I will get, there we go, this base here. And then yeah, see, I knew they were going to get all in that little dip there, so let's see if we can dig those out, or actually they may just fall out because there's no resin in there, hopefully. Alright, looks like most of it did. Get you in there, get you in there, and you out of the way. Alright. Let's see. So now that can go back in. Alright. So that's looking really cute so far. You can kind of see the peanuts and such are in there, the little bird snacks. Okay. Now, when I do the light, I will have to do it from multiple angles, like all four sides, to make sure that it hits the resin well enough, but that's also why I'm not packing a lot of extra nuts and stuff in there, because the way that UV works is that it reacts to the light. The UV reactive resin reacts to UV light. Makes sense. But if the light can't reach it, then it will stay liquid. And UV resin, or any resin, is actually toxic. You're not supposed to get it on your skin. You're supposed to use gloves. I don't, because it doesn't really seem to irritate my skin, at least in small amounts, and obviously I avoid large amounts. But some people can be very sensitive to it. So if you're not sure, definitely wear gloves, definitely, be careful, protect yourself. But that's also why you don't want to leave uncured resin just sitting there on one of these. So, long way of saying, that is why it's a thin, I don't put much resin on there, and why I don't pack in the seeds, because I do want open spots where the light can reach in and cure the resin. So, looks like next we need to do the little pine cones and attach the bird. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cure that first, and then come back and do these other bits. Because I think I'm going to have to probably take the lid off to get that all cured. And these are going to cast shadows too that will make it harder to cure, so yeah, I'm going to do that. So we'll be right back, and for you it'll be instant. Alright, so this has been hardened pretty well, I think. So we'll go ahead and put that back together. Alright, now the next step is we need to do the pine cones. So, you need to get them first out of this adorable little bag. It looks like it says something, but I can't tell what. You might be able to zoom in on the camera and see. There's a picture of a couple of pine cones, and then on the back there's a little UPC and a recycle symbol. So that's adorable. Alright. That one got a little bent, it looks like. Oh, they both did. That might be on purpose then. We'll see. So, here's what this looks like. If it'll focus. There we go. The little hook is already built in, so it'll be really easy to hang. And it looks like a little pine cone. It's very cute. Let's see. So we're going to want some of this. And I'm not going to do the bottom so that it will be able to sit and cure without getting resin on the thing I'm setting them on. I have a very short cord, so I can't show the curing, unfortunately, but I will show the light that I use, if I don't forget. Okay. Now, the easiest way to do this part, I think, will be like we did here and kind of roll it in it, maybe? I'll try pouring, but I may have to do some rolling too. I think this is going to do it, actually. Let me just get rid of some of the excess here. Okay. Then number 2. Hoping that all this resin on here will cure properly. Not sure if it will in the cracks, but I'm also not sure how else to do this. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take these and cure them, again probably from at least a couple of sides for several minutes each, so I will be right back with that. So the pine cones are having a little trouble curing. I was afraid they would because of the seeds hiding the resin. So I'm going to keep working on that, but in the meantime I'm just going to clean up a little bit here. And hopefully those things will set at some point. I mean, they've been under there for about 8 minutes on one side, and that side is still not solid. So if that doesn't work, I may have to try and clean them off and replace it with glue somehow. Like maybe some super glue. But in the meantime, what we're supposed to be doing next is attaching the bird here with resin. However, I don't think that's going to work. I think if I want it to sit there, I'm going to have to either just sit it kind of, like that, or again find some super glue and use that. I don't think resin is going to work. So I'm going to keep trying though. But in the meantime, I thought I'd take care of some of this. I did get a bit of resin on my fingers trying to figure that out. So if you get this kit, be very careful because the stuff is not drying the way that it's supposed to, or not curing rather. So do be very careful not to get it on your fingers. So for now, yeah, I'm going to put a little knot right here and clip this off. That's not far enough down. I'll try it out first, then clip it. Yeah, that's going to be about right, I think. So there's that. And then I really don't see where the pine cones are meant to attach. Oh, you're supposed to do one at a time. That's what it is. You do one at a time and it goes in that little hole at the top up there. That's why it's only showing one. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and check on those and be right back again. Alright, I am back. This is the little pine cones. They're partially cured. I don't really like it. I'm probably going to at some point take it apart and clean it up and replace it with glue. If I don't end up just throwing them away, because if they're not going to cure, it's not going to do much good. But, if I can get it to fix, here's how it looks in there. And you may have better luck using the resin too. I've noticed it's a little bit hit and miss with these. Some of them I've had a lot of trouble with. Other people are like, oh, it was easy for me. And others, it's been the other way around, or it was easy for me and somebody else is like, oh, this never cures for me. So they're a little hit and miss in that way. Sorry it's so dark. I don't have a light to shine on it. I may have... Let's see if this helps. It's a UV light, so it's making everything look like it's glowing. Well, it's something at least. So there's kind of how it looks underneath there. It's a really cute project. I'm really sad that it doesn't work very well. Like for cuteness, it's definitely like a 9 or a 10, maybe even a 10. But the execution is lacking. So I will have to see what I can do to... I mean, I may try sitting him out in the sun tomorrow, like when the sun comes up. That may be enough to like get through enough to cure it. But we'll see. In the meantime, it is really cute. I do really like it. I just wish it was better designed and they gave us glue instead of resin for this. It is really cute though. I love the little bird. If nothing else, I will do something else with the little bird. He is adorable. So, that's all I've got for now. So, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye.